Hello, and thank you for joining me on this kind of, I don't know what it is, festive video, thank you video, just appreciation video, if that's what you want to call it. So I'm taking a bit of time out, as I'm sure lots of you are, hopefully getting a chance to relax and spend time with your family. And I will get back to uploading some videos soon, but I just wanted to basically pop on today just to do a sort of a brief overview of 2024 on the channel. First of all, needless to say, without you, the viewer, channel would be absolutely nothing. So really do appreciate the support you give me week in, week out, video in, video out. I'm not quite at the 50,000 subscribers. I'm sure that will happen in 2025. But if you are someone who's been here, maybe just this year or here since the start, I really do appreciate it. So that's the main thing I wanted to say. Really, if you take nothing else from this video, is just thank you for watching. This is the first year, full year, I've been able to give my time and energy to the channel on a full-time basis. YouTube is now, it seems weird saying it, and I certainly hate the word I'm a YouTuber, but this is my full-time role now, and that's because of the support from you who watches the videos and, you know, is just here for every single review, whether it's a car you're interested in or a car you just want to know more about. That's what keeps the whole thing going. So really do appreciate it. So a lot of time obviously goes in to videos, but as long as you watch them, it's worth it. What a year it's been in terms of travel. I've been on more press trips than I've ever been on in 2024. I've seen some incredible places. Morocco twice, loads of Spain, Portugal, Italy, been to France, been to Finland, been to some really, really great places. And again, if I wasn't getting the numbers from you watching, I wouldn't be asked on these trips. So again, it's all down to you. Speaking of numbers, it's been a mad year, 5.5 million views on the channel in 2024. The biggest month was, I can't remember what specific month it was, but there was over 700,000 people watching in a 28-day period, which was just incredible. Mine was blown with it. I've had many videos this year have breached well over 100,000 views, from the Suzuki Swift to the Dacia Bigster, probably still pronouncing that wrong, but the point is, so many of you are watching, and I really do appreciate it. Highlights of the year car wise, people ask me this a lot. Well, I could maybe jump and say, well, on a personal basis, it's been the year I bought a Mazda MX-5 and sold a Mazda MX-5, and then for many years I've lusted after some form of Porsche. Doesn't really matter what form, classic, very classic, Boxster, Cayman. Wasn't really that interested in Caymans, and then somewhere out of nowhere a 911 came along, and again I was able to be the custodian of one of them, and I will do a video on that car into early 2025. So that's been great, and I suppose that makes me wonder, is there an appetite, not necessarily to change things up, but in 2025 to just maybe include a bit more retro stuff if that's of interest. I'm just not sure, so feedback is very welcome. Obviously this channel has only ever really been about new cars, and by that nature you have to take what you're given. And it's been a weird year for EVs, the anti-EV sentiment. It's kind of hard to judge because everything's amplified on social media. But at the same time, sales are rising if you compare it to year on year. There is more interest in EVs, and someone recently left a comment to say, you know, face facts, no one is interested in EVs in Ireland. And the figures just don't suggest that. But not to say, I don't want to discredit anyone else's opinion about whatever, you know, form of fuel goes into a car, but it just feels like people are very, very angry about EVs. And I don't know if it's anger from people who've had them and lost money, because I don't think they'd be as angry, because surely there's still some positives about going electric. I find them all the time. And and actually, our family car is electric as of the last few months. I'll do a video on that maybe in 2025 as well. But there's a lot of anger about EVs, and it's like, I just kind of feel like replying to some people sometimes, if cars annoy you and make you this angry, maybe you should either stop watching the videos or go and seek some form of help, because it doesn't make sense how wound up people get. Like, if it's football or something, I understand, fine, or politics or some of the craziness that's going on in the world. Give your anger to those things. But to electric cars, to me anyway, it's just another form of fueling a car. And because I'm doing new car reviews, we're going to see more electric stuff in 2025 on the channel. It's just the way it is. Now, I do think petrol and diesel are going nowhere. And as I often say to people, like, just buy whatever fuel you want. If you don't want an electric car, no one has a gun to your head, so don't buy one. That said, I'm already looking forward to January. Brand new BMW M5, I'll have that for a review. I'll be going on a press trip in January for the new Fiat Panda. So, you know, there's lots of exciting things happening. And genuinely, the electric stuff does interest me. It's not like I'm just turning up for the sake of it. Yes, I hope petrol and in some form diesel remains in press cars. Some of the diesel stuff on fleets are cleaner than they have ever been. But that doesn't feel like it's the appetite of brands or the industry or whatever. So it could be an interesting year. There's again a lot of comments underneath really established brand vehicles, and this is the last breath of Audi, for example, and I just don't buy it. Yes, there are definitely turbulent times for really established brands who have probably over relied on sales in places like China and stuff, and that is a changing market. We don't know what really is going to happen in America with Trump and tariffs and all that stuff as well. So who knows what way 2025 is going to pan out when it comes to sales of stuff that has been coming from different parts of the world. Personally, my own belief is there's maybe room for 5 to 7 Chinese brands in Europe. There's not going to be a massive flood of them, because these brands, their scale is so big. If they don't perform, they themselves will just pivot and either cancel a model or whatever, and they'll just disappear again out of Europe. And I don't think European consumers want that. I think they want a brand, they want to buy into a brand that they know is going to be here in a few years' time. But yeah, there's no doubt we've seen stuff in Volkswagen Group this year, and some of the unions and the feeling on the floors, so to speak, in factories, that people that put these cars together feel like they've been badly treated in many ways. In some legacy brands, they have been. People who've been in jobs for years and are now kind of facing the threat of their job not being there. So it will be an interesting year for automotive. There's no doubt about it. And actually on that, sometimes I like to touch on if there is a massive story going on with a particular brand and I happen to be reviewing that brand that week. It's nice to be able to kind of weave in some of the latest stuff that's going on, just because I think, again, anything you can add just makes the story of whatever the car review is a bit more interesting. So feedback very much welcome onto what you might like to see more of or less of in 2025. But again, just the main thing I wanted to say was I really do appreciate you watching as many videos as you manage to get through on the channel, because as I said, you're supporting me and supporting the channel, and more coverage of cars that are relevant to the Irish market, also in some cases the UK market. The Anglo-Irish relations seem to be good, because plenty of you watch in the UK. In fact, I get reminded of this if I forget to put MPG on a video as well as just litres per 100 kilometres. So yeah, look, just again, thank you. I hope I can rely on your support again in 2025. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do, because as I said, the €50,000 mark would be lovely to achieve sooner rather than later. But yeah, just a heartfelt thanks, and I look forward to hopefully getting your eyeballs again in 2025. I do have an ID7 Tourer outside in the driveway. I need to get a review of that up soon. I haven't filmed it yet, but I will. It's my Christmas car, and I've actually been loving it. But I don't want to be too promoting EVs because some of you might get triggered. Anyway, Happy New Year. Hope you're having a great few week or whatever off. And I will chat to you again soon. Thank you once again.